All right. Oh, morning everyone. Back session, and today I'll be with my little side project, my restaurant software as a service application that I'm working on, and today I'm going to dive deeper into the backend and the API. And there are some news regarding this application. Might get external investor, perhaps. That would be kind of nice, but nothing is set in stone. So I did. Hello, Hal. Nice to see you. I don't know if we've interacted together, but please let me know who you are, what you do, code, and we can chat. So yeah, so this is the site. It's let's switch over to the English version, of course, and I will get this code base up. Our IDE, then I'm just gonna hit my tests. There are two parts to this, of course. One front-end application, or actually there are two front-end applications. But let's start with the backend. Right, voucher variants. I'm just gonna run RSpec. No, actually, I haven't worked on this for today, so let's just git a git log. Thank you very much for joining us. If first time, I do a lot of programming. That's what I do on various topics. Today I'm working on a software as a service application. So I'm doing. I'm going to work a little bit on the backend side of things, and I work as a developer, and I have some side project. I'm a coach, actually. I teach people also. But I also work on some side projects, and I think it's nice to interact with people. So and I'm also involved in some coding community. So that's why I am around. So stick around, and you know, I'm gonna talk as I do things. If you have any questions or any comments, just feel free to fire away. Okay. All functions in custom code generate. Right. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is to run all my automated tests. RSpec. RSpec is a tool that it's a testing tool for testing various parts of your application that is written. Right. Seems to. Okay. So this particular application is responsible for many things, but in the context where I am at the moment, I will be adding function or working with functionality that helps people to purchase and use their prepaid lunch cards. Yeah, so you have your favorite joint and you spend a certain amount of money on eating in that joint, and so if this joint have like a loyalty plan, so you can, you know, prepay for, let's say, 10 lunches, you get a better price, better deal, and everybody wins. Save some money and the joint gets their cash on that will come back. So we are building a small application that will allow people, or restaurateurs rather, to deal with that in a digital way rather than pen and the paper, which is the case most of the time. You know, you get a credit card sized or business card sized coupon, right? And then, you know, they punch holes in it or they stamp it. And my idea is that we can. So that's what I'm building. And so this will be a centralized place where many different restaurants can set up their stuff. And so what you're looking at here in this browser is just the front end part of it. There's not much functionality here apart from the fact that you could, in principle, check your card. Like if you are the customer, you are issued a card and the card has a code on it. So it's always a 5-digit and letters code at least, and so you can, and that is pre-filled with some an amount of lunches, and as a customer you would be given a chance to, because there will be no stamps, right? So you an interface on the web or easily accessible where you can check how many lunches you have left and perhaps a history of what you, when you consumed it and so on. So I have one here that checks whether the code that I just valid or not, and also returns a little bit of a history saying that this particular person ate lunch on November 27th and on March and so on. So this is good. I think that this wording here, transactions, seems a little bureaucratic and boring, so we're probably going to change that at some point. But yeah, we'll see. But today I will be working on the backend side of. Let me just check out the code. Right, and we have a put. Right, voucher variant. I actually have an interesting PR here called attribute translation that it seems rather abundant since August 2020. Right. I'm just gonna, out of curiosity. Right, awesome. I need to get this done because this one can actually work with translations for database attributes. That's a row stored in a database. So that would be great. That's a really good thing. I started to work on this and then I just kind of moved away from this for some reason. The UR 21 files changed. Go through. Right. We should probably get back to this at some point, but not today. This one is really interesting. If you're into Rails, if you're into Rails and you know, kind of, and I know this is like swearing in church, but rapid application development, then that would definitely a good opportunity. It's a very interesting functionality there. Right. But that was not what we. That's not. Came here for this one, and I just wanted to see. Extracts request data validation to active record support. Is concerned. Sorry. Yes, I was happy with that one. I was really happy with that extraction, to be honest. So that one is a good one. Practice vouchers. Let's just what files validate value validate. Done. I would say params validation. That's a better name for this. But we can. And then we have controller, which is purchase controller, and that kind of grew out of proportion. Right. There are some comments here. Ariane. See, this is a solo project, so I don't really have a Trello board or a pivot tracker board or whatever. So I had some more people working on that, but have that. Do we? Perhaps we do. Hold on a second. Check if I do have a board. Right. Perhaps I should. But I thought that. Hold on a second. I know that we've had some tracking set up. Some we have 13 closed bars, and we. So did I write all this code? Didn't help me. Right, apparently I wrote all of this. Well, that's a shame. But that's the way. Gotta do it alone, you do it alone, right? No problem. There is a volcano eruption on Iceland. It's pretty amazing. No, could lead to a lot of environmental. Anyway, I was what specs I was. So I was back to his voucher. Right, and we have a card generator spec that is not really relevant, or perhaps it is. It is relevant. Yeah, I know. So we can actually write an automated test that looks at a report or anything in PDF format and asserts that we are doing the right thing. So in this particular file, we are looking at a specific voucher, which is like a because when somebody purchased those paid cards, we actually generate them in PDF. We create a PDF with that, and so in this test, we are looking at we're creating one of those vouchers, and then we actually take a look at it using a library called PDF Inspector, and then we just make sure that it contains what it's supposed to contain. So that's, my opinion, a good thing. And I can see a lot of use cases for that when you work with like invoicing or shipping or what have you. That would a nice use case for that. Anyway, so we had this spec, we changed that to vendor spec, and we expected, yeah, we described some validations here. And for the voucher, we have various factories because we have two variants. One, a voucher that is pre-filled with some servings, and another voucher that is pre-filled with cash. Question whether I should variant attribute. Right. System admin can create voucher. Let's just admin. Okay. Code, and I'm using VS Code nowadays. I used to use programming mine back in the days, but VS Code is for everything that I need. Right, so and actually I'm gonna go in the card generator spec, because now that we have two different cards, let's pull up the factory voucher. Right, and the card. So I have a servings voucher and cash voucher. So I'm gonna create this as a valid voucher. Right. Then I'm gonna add a new describe block here, because now we're gonna describe two types of voucher. Right. So copy this and the value of type. Is it called type? Variants. The value of variant. Servings of variant with variant hash. Right. Okay. So this test run in this describe block. Let's see. Can I think I can right click here and say if I do run specs, I run everything, right? Oh, just this. I can run my tests directly VS Code. Okay, so we're good on that. That little move of try blocks did not break anything. But now I just want to create a servings voucher rather than I'm gonna say this voucher. And now that would right, because need to pass this servings voucher into the method where we create this def. So let's do that. Getting all green. This one. Hey. Nej, det tror jag. Eller ska hon gå upp nu eller? Okej, det finns kaffe färdigt till henne. Men jag sitter och jobbar nu så. Jag tror inte det är bra av dig. Jag tror inte det. Eller du kan försöka, men jag vet inte om det är en bra idé. Right, so there was a... Ja, jag tror det. Alright, it was a coffee issue. Okay, so this works now. Back again. Okay. So now I am thinking about setting... I want to set a binding pry here. Because I would like to... the file itself that is generated in the test environment actually. So let's see. Right. Here we are. And now we could take a look at the subject path that gives public card PDF. Okay, so go to public folder. There's a card PDF here. And we can reveal, that in Finder? And see other right. Oh, where am I? This is the card that was generated. See, the code is QQQ, right? Because I'm stubbing this out here on in the test. So I am in control of what this will run, and I'm passing in. And I know that this looks like a magic number just out of the box because there is no explanation in the test to say what this one actually represents, but that what it does is that it represents a specific layout of the card. We have 3 layouts. I'm actually going to change that to and I'm going to run this file again. Oh, right. And just as a proof of concept, I just want to change this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would 5, like that's it. And I'm going to run this. And the card should be generated. And we can see that there has a different layout on it. And the code has changed, right? And just as, you know, because I want to show off now, but we could just change this. So the tests are failing now for. Right. Oh, because it's all right. In this particular layout, the word lunch card is split on 2 different lines, lunch card, and therefore the test is failing because we're looking for lunch card, and it has 2 streams. It doesn't matter. So we could change that, but it doesn't matter really. What I wanted to show you, whoever cares, I care, so I'm gonna. I just like to see them. I can change the language and also the design again. Like, so I'm gonna change. We have Swedish and English, actually. So let's see if we can get that. that is being generated. And here we can see yet another design. Perhaps not the prettiest, but I'm not a designer, so that's why this is like this. I'm happy with the technical part of these designs, but not really the visual part. But this one actually, this is built up by vector graphics, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. So that kind of works. Anyway, gonna quit this, and we're gonna go back to the first design and English, and that should principle. We should trouble now. Right. So that's the way this cookie crumbles. People, if you have any questions about Ruby on Rails, fire away. I truly enjoy it. There is so much things that I can be really, really productive. That framework. So I'm really, truly like impressed with. Right. So the next thing that I want to get into is to make sure that I have tests written, and this will be the main problem or action today. I'm gonna copy all of this to the other block, the other describe block, and I will create I would create a cache voucher rather than a servings voucher, and I want to say that the value would like 200 units or whatever, right? 200 units, and I want to output this, right? So we have the code still 1 2 3 4 5, that's perfectly fine, and I want to say 200 but I don't want to value 200. I probably want to see like a currency symbol. Probably I want to see a currency symbol, which means that I would have to add, I mean that sounds reasonable, right? That if this is a cash card and not serving, I wonder if we should actually say that that these cards that are serving should say 10 servings. 10 portioner. QC Fantast, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But let's not think about that. But this one, let's say that I operate in Sweden, right? So I would like to say SEC, right? Which is now the question is, I have space between, but I would probably like to have the currency symbol output. I would say that, and perhaps it shouldn't say lunch card, but rather gift card, right? Gift card. Is that what it is called in English? I don't know, but I guess so. Right. Let's go with that. And this will fail for me. I do not have that implemented. So, for those of you who are like curious about test-driven development, I would say that exactly this thing that I just did now just like considering, should I do this, should I do that? That is the good thing with testing, in my opinion. It forces you to think. Some people say that test-driven development forces you to think critically. I recently said that to a few colleagues of mine, that TDD makes me think, because if I don't use tests, then I just code away, and that's a slippery slope. Here I'm actually thinking, perhaps out loud, as I do now in this, but having like an internal dialogue with myself, and it say in Swedish, vrida och vända, which means that you just take a look at the issue in front of you, and you want to make the issue as small as possible and testable. And so that is the thing that you want, kind of get you brain into the mode where you actually do some intellectual assessment of things. But anyway, let's see, this is failing for me. So first of all, I think I need to go in my config folder. Is that a config? And we go to locales, dish, and we say voucher title. So the title for servings right, serving and cash gift. Right. So in my custom card gen, I would need to find this. That was title, voucher title. Right. Right. I think I can string interpolate the variant of the voucher, so I can do this problem. Voucher. Oh, is it? Yeah, voucher. Voucher variant. I think I can. To see if this works, I need to run this one on line 10. See if that actually does it. Right. That works. Let's break it. I always want to break it. I now just this and run the same test. That should in principle not work, because if it does, then we got a false positive and it fails. Right, and we got unmethoded GTAB for servings. Right. Okay, that's good. So let's say this, and we are good to go on that particular factory. So why not? Right on. So let's keep on running the one on 31, and that is again supposed to fail. but that did say gift card now, right? And have value 200, but we do not have. First of all, it's off center, isn't it? For some reason it's off center, right? Oh, now we expose another flaw here. This is gonna be really tough for me. See, I'm using this library called Prawn, which is a PDF generator, and I can do all sorts of stuff, really cool one, but it's not a very easy library to work with. So, and I'm not really like super duper proficient in it. I managed to write this module, but I probably need to rethink some of the stuff. I'm happy with what I got now, because it was a bit of a hassle to get this up and running. But there might be some problems. For instance, like centering stuff. Like this doesn't. It's not centered. And is it because we are? Yeah, we probably need to calculate the amount of words. So if I would like just write this just for the sake of it, see if actually it's I would probably have to like count the amount of letters in the word, and then yeah, I would probably have to count the words, the amount of letters in the word, and then adjust the centered or research if I can just center the object itself. Yeah, but in the generator would like to right, we have this voucher title split voucher title, and so I need to string right here. Added box. Yeah, that's because that's when we do some other stuff. So you see, I need to write tests that are also generating the other layouts, because we're doing some different logic for that as well. So I would say voucher dot variant. Right. Actually, let's just set this as a 2. Run it just for the sake of it. Really. Why is this? Oh, I'm changing this place. So when you get to things up. Hi Mike, how you doing? Good morning. Nice of you to join me. Wonderful Saturday morning. I'm doing a little bit of yes, Rubyland. Oh, exactly where I feel at home. And the Prawn PDF generator, working with some design issues and making a little bit of a mess. No, mess, but it is what it is. It is what. So just a shout out to Mike, of course, because he is a great guy and a community-oriented kind of guy. He is running a lot of good things in this community. Agileventures.org. So there's a lot of good things happening in that community for open source development. So if you have a few minutes, check it out. The playlist, yeah. What about it? Just so look, I'm really confused. Well, not confused anymore, but I was a bit confused before about the music selections of you know, when you stream, because I was just doing some random music choices on my Spotify playlist and I got a copyright, you know, problem. So one has to be really careful, I guess. So anyway, back to work. Right, we're gonna switch to one. Let's deal with one thing at a time. Again, let's run this test and see what it looks like. Right, so this is it. We have value 200 gift card. That's all good. Going. That's let's see. Oh, this is actually not the one. I bet I'm gonna get into some problem again. This is the one. Oh, that's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I can here and here it. Playlist. From what I understand. Soft, you know. Okay, so I need to add the currency symbol. I can hard code the currency. So I can just say SE key, right? But this should be a conditional, right? So we can say if voucher cash. Whoops. Else. Right, so a little bit of code repetition here. So we can say value say this plus then a, whereas here we will have value display, then we just right pass now if voucher cash Oh, really? Well, the debugger. Really? Yes, of course. Okay. Right. Right. Oh, I'm in the wrong place here, by the way. So let's see here. Other side. Other side. There it is. This is focus. So I'm going to extract that into function. That I was in the wrong place. Get about code repeat. Oh, at this. Bit careful. So, Mike, what I'm doing is I'm building a small software as a service platform for restaurants to deal with something that is very manual, at least in Sweden at this point, not digitalized, and that is lunch cards and gift cards, right? When somebody is buying, like let's say you have a restaurant and you want to make sure that your customers come back to you, and so you want them to prepay you for all the lunches or all the things that you serve. You can say that, okay, you can buy a card, it's pre-filled with 10 lunches, I give you a discount on that. Let's say a lunch costs 100 crowns in Sweden, and if you pay for 10 up front, you get them for 85, for instance, right? So usually, at least in Sweden, this is still done very manually. People are being given like a credit card or business card sized piece of paper, and then it's being stamped, or you punch holes in it and whatever, right? So here we are trying to digitalize that, so we can issue those lunch cards digitally, send them out to people over email in PDF format, or use, Apple Wallet or whatever that would come in the next iteration, and so on. And so we what I'm working on at the moment is to actually create that PDF based on the variant of the voucher. When we have two variants, one that is pre-filled with an N amount of servings, and another variant that is pre-filled with a certain amount of cash. And at this point, I'm using British crowns, hard code that, but in the next feature, I will add a feature for the restaurateur that is issuing the card to actually say that, okay, so I'm dealing with US dollars or pounds or euros or what have you, right? Yeah, it's a nice little thing, and I shared that a while back. You can check out the front end side. Here it's actually there is already a small front end. It's still just a proof of concept and work in progress, but you can check this out. And there is one piece of functionality that is interesting, and that is the check your card thing here. So the user that has this voucher gets like a code, a 5-digit letters code, and they can check it, and that would return the history of usage, right? So if you because you can't really see the stamps that you could before, right? So you have to have an interface to actually check this somewhere. So you can check that online. And again, I'm using a Heroku server, so that's why it took some time. And you can see that on November 27th, I give 2 servings in the case, and so on, right? So that's the general idea. And from the backend perspective, I also have some functionality for the staff of the restaurant. or quickly scan those cards, and you know, have allow users to use them. Basically, pretty interesting. And it's written in Rails, Rails / React, right? I didn't use Gatsby or anything for this front end. I thought it was a little bit of an overkill to do that, so so I just want to keep it as simple as possible, low hanging fruit, as you know, as much as possible. Right, so let's have a look at the voucher. Is this voucher a cache voucher? I can ask that, and it says true. And the reason why I can issue this question is because I'm using enum on my Rails model. Fantastic way to assign certain attributes. Right. So this is it. So I can do. Can I do next? No, we can't escape. I don't really. Why I can do next sometimes, and sometimes I. Right. Right. Because I, messed up again. I don't. This. I want this. I can. This. Now, in principle, this would pass. Oh. Oh. Pass. Right. Oh, I'm just. String can't be coerced into. Well, thank you very much. 2S. Right, so I just have to do that. Where am I? Oh, I'm. It's too much code here. Right. Right. Very good. String. So I have to transform this one to string. Otherwise, we got. Right. So that worked. But I could also just this. Voucher value. Then so this one will of course not be hard coded later on, but rather dynamically set by the voucher type. Or no, but that's later. That's for later. But for now, I just want to say I want to extract it. I'm going to say value display. Well, actually, just create. Well, let's see. Value. And just paste it coding, and then we just and we just. I think I need to return this at the end, because otherwise I will read that. . Right, and if I don't return this now, then I will regret. Because then it returns the if statement. Right, I have to do a return. No? Oh, really? Okay, that's good. So now I can just say value display, and then we can remove that if statement here as well. And we should that later. We avoid to have some code ripping. Yeah, the interpolation was better. Yeah. Right on. Okay, but the problem is still that this looks like shit because it's not centered. And that's not really what I want. Let's have a look. Have a look at this of variant cache, variant segment, right? So let's run the one on 10 and see if that's still. Does. Yeah. So this one is centered, and the other one isn't centered because I'm modifying this thing. So that's the length of the string. So the problem lies in this at this thing. The problem, I wish I could say God. Right, I wish I could say at center or position center, but draw text doesn't have that. I think it's position center. I don't think you can. I don't think. Card header center, right? Yeah. At option is required. Text. At option required. So we need to do a little bit of research. How can I draw text in the center of that line? Vertical center. I hope you guys can stick around for a few seconds without me because I need to fill up this baby. By the way, done. Anyway, I need to fill this baby up with some coffee, and I will be right back. Listen to the fantastic soothing music while you stare at my my failing tests. Right, wife took lost coffee, had to make new. Sorry, wives, huh? What are you gonna do? Right, so draw text in prawn. Let's have a look. A little bit of research conducted. Let's just do prawn gem. Prawn gem. And then draw text. Because I'm not using text, but draw. Right. Documentation. Right. Say at. Assume reformatting station. Required. Right. What do you know? That's a bit of a hustle. So I would have to. Leftmost. Font content. Table cut. Table good. They came from Brazil. Using style. You mean styling like the style must be part of the current font family. Well, I am kind of using style already. Because I said that I have those styles here. You know, if I set the font, I'm using my custom fonts here. Then I have bold, normal, light. So I am already using style. But I need to calculate. I need to calculate the length of the. No. That's no. So you could, in principle, use CSS in prawn, but perhaps not on draw text. You can use text instead. But it's better for me. For some reason, I know that I experimented with text, but I moved away from that. And why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. Actually, I do not. Perhaps that is the. So let's see if we just do text. That is draw text, formatted text. height of text box. Okay, so I can align this center. Let's try that. Let's copy the line, come out. Let's just do text. Let's do text. And then line. Here you can actually do some HTML and stuff. which is not something that I'm like really inclined to do in this particular case. But let's run the test and see where we end up and F things up. Yeah, I can work with that. I could move. Can I do down, right, move down. Run the one. Right. Wasn't that bad. So let's 30. I think 40 is too much. I might regret that. Can move down 35. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can run the line 40, which is the other variant. Right. Okay, that's actually gonna so let's just copy this and paste this, comment it out, and we're gonna say text, and gonna say basically just change this at value to align center on this one. The question is if it's down automatically or if it doesn't. Yay! The problem, folks. And again, with automated tests, I can do things like this even in this context where I'm dealing with you know, generating PDFs and you know, testing visual stuff, which you know, you can't really write automated tests for visuals, but it allows me to actually generate this voucher in an automated way by running a script. Otherwise, I would have to go into the console and run it, all of that stuff manually. You cannot really test, in my opinion. At least I don't know. I really don't know if you can test alignments. One would have to figure this one out self. Oh, so the only expect I have here is not about alignment. I'm just saying that I'm just executing the test, but the only thing that I'm really testing is the content. And perhaps you weren't here when I was talking about this. So I'm using a small engine or a small library called PDF Inspector. What PDF Inspector is that I can open a file, a PDF file that I'm doing here on line 35, and then I can run this file through the inspector and the analyze method, and that will give me a piece of valuable pieces of information, like the content, all the strings that are available on that particular PDF, and so I can check for the values. But it contains a lot more. Like actually, we could set a binding price here, and I guess that by examining this test or this object carefully, could probably find more things that could be in principle interesting test. But if we just look at the PDF, that is this object, right? So we have some font objects, and it's a huge ass object. Well, too big for me to actually care about at this. Why is this? That, yeah, because these are the polygons that I'm displaying, I think. On this card, the background. This is also it's an SVG, so there's some vector graphics. So I would say that let's not dive into that, but we have strings. Strings, and so this is the strings that are available on this, right? And in terms of check the methods, show text with positioning, that is interesting. Check on that. Text rendering mode, character spacing, and a lot of things that look in. Show text with positioning. Oh. Well, apparently that. Anyway, that's the. I just BD one, bail one. I just got out of prison for serving a 20-year sentence. Well, welcome back to society. Trying to find a new hobby. Can you tell me what a CPU does? A CPU, central processing unit. Well, it's the heartbeat of any computer. So it processes all the calculations that a computer needs to do. It's a very low level thing. I'm a programmer. I'm not a technician. Mike, what does a CPU do? Explain that. I never. Well, it's process all the. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain that, but I can say this. Greedy 123 and so on. I think. Thanks for the follow, by the way. And again, welcome back welcome back to society. Programming is a great hobby. Programming is a hobby that you can turn into a profession. So that's so go for that, definitely, and learn how to code. You can stick around in this hang around us, but also, and I was saying this before, Mike here, that is in the stream, he is a community organizer on this in this community that is called Agile Ventures, that you can find on agileventures.org, where there are a lot of people, both with experience but also without experience, get together and learn together and do interesting stuff, and also code together on certain projects, open source projects that do good, because those projects for non-profit organizations. So we're trying to do pro bono work, learn at the same time, provide value to those non-profit organizations. So check that out, definitely, and welcome everyone to that. Anyway, he made good on that refactoring place center the text. Let's this finding cry hanging around somewhere. And we have that center. It is kind of centered. I think it is. Right. The next thing would a variant cache, and here I would love to a variant cache, and then I'm just gonna say describe line 1, right? Not really fond of giving them just numeric values because these also like a magic number. Let's see, get that here. There we go. And I think I need that short break to get that coffee that I was hoping to get in the previous short break, but I couldn't. Wifey stole my coffee. Kidding. Totally entitled to get some coffee. I think I'm saying that right over you in just. All right, I'm back at it. Let me turn my camera on. I got a good question from Mike. When do I use context? I'm using context right now. So context is just a syntactic sugar for describe. But in this case, this is actually a good refactoring. So it will make the test a little more readable, I would say. So thank you for reminding me about context. I keep forgetting about. Well, I just don't think about it so often. Now, but the real, more verbose answer is when I write feature tests using RSpec, then I use context more often, because it for me it is more relevant. Use the keyword context in when you interact with your application. So I use Rails most often to build API applications. So when I hit some endpoints, that's when I kind of contextualize the parameters, the usage of the API. That's most often the use case. But in this case, it totally makes sense to say we are describing a voucher of variant cache using design 1, right? So this would mean that I could use context here, and I say using design 2, right? And the reason why I want to change that, because design 1 is a bit specific, because it has this centered values, whereas design 2 and design 3 is actually shifting them, moving them to the right and to the left, right? So that is the difference. So let's basically just copy all of this. And I know that there's a lot of code repetition in the test. I can probably refactor some stuff later. So this one will include gift and include card, right? And then I was just gonna change this to 2. Let's see, cash flow, right? So let's just run this one. 64. Right. And it fails because right, because it's code and value 2, right? 0, 0. So first of all, the code is wrong. So let's fix that. We have to go to right. Why did I side align value set side align value? We're talking about code. Header, there it is. Oh, why would I? What's wrong with you, Thomas? What's wrong with you? Right. That was, jumping back and forth stuff, right? So we have the code. That's good. The value, and this text kind of disappeared altogether. God. Right. This kind of this. Let's do something that actually works. Let's just get yeah, we're gonna do the same thing here. One. And I'm gonna move all of this here, and then I'm just gonna say create another context on this variant serving. 2, and then I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna change that to line 2. And let's run this one. Run the 1, 2. Right, so this kind of worked. The only thing that it doesn't work is this, so I can just steal this. This. And this should pass now. No. Expected power by good gift. Oh, not gift, sorry. Lunch. Can't just steal random code and from myself and fly. Let's just see if we get this. Well, still punch card value 10. value and oh, because it's code in capital. What? Right, okay. Code and value 10, but value 10 is 2 different strings. That failed for me as well because of that. Yes. Okay. And include value. Damn it. So and include and no, let's stick to right form. Right. Right. Okay, so that went good. That's okay. That's okay. That's nice. That's Borat. I think Borat says. Am I still running the right playlist? Because I really don't want to get into some copyright issues. Let's check. Yeah, I think. Or yeah, I think. Anyway, hope for the best. Okay. So if this works now, and we have all this thing, value 10 code. Okay, so if this works, why is this? So this will be code, and this will be value, and this would need to be extracted like this, and then we just say and include this, right? Gift card code. And what did I have to extract code? Oh, that was okay. All right, so run 88 now. Oh, that's a good thing it is time to commit, Mike. Absolutely, it is. And again, thank you for keeping me in line. Keeping them honest. Definitely. Let me just try Mia River. Now let's just wonder what the F is going down here. Why is this text disappearing? Because I have the thing. So if I, it's gonna experiment a little bit. Let's say that we should set this value to 2, because I think there's a problem with this, with the 3-digit number. Right, so now, yes, that's the thing. We're showing this value thing, and this box needs to be put into not drawing text, but rather text, like we did the other one. So let's just do git status. Right, so git diff. No, I don't have to. I know what I did. CIAM. I don't have any new files, only amended files, so I can do so. First of all, it's a work in progress. Refactors text placement in card custom card. Well, it's not a module, it's a class actually. So we can just say, right, adds specs for variants, for card, for voucher variant, and designs. That's pretty much what I did. Add p. Yeah, but if I haven't changed any, I mean, added any new files, then I don't think I need to do add git add, or do I? So I usually pass in the AP flag. So well, what remotes do we have? Dash. Yeah, upstream, right? Git stream. Sure. Variant. Right. So the problem lies in the fact that we are displaying the value text title added by the line. Or there it is. Really? Subheader. What the? You see, naming is so important, and I just get lost a little bit in my own inability to give my methods good names, but perhaps it is not bad, say, but it's also not super good, I would argue. So voucher, let's I will up voucher value, is this the one? So let's just do finding try here to see if we are even in the right spot or not. Yes, I am. I am. Right. Size 30, style, bold, align. Oh, because I have a width. Oh, okay, so I have, yeah, I remember. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me slowly, but it does. What I have is that I'm placing, I create something that I call a padded box in the middle of this thing, and I give it a width of 45 and box position is, yeah, so this is the position of the box depending on the orientation, whether it's a left or right orientation, and then I give it a width and height. So if I would increase it to width, like let's say 65, would that make a difference? Let's try that. Yes, now we are showing this. So if I would increase this to 75, and run this again. Right. Right. But so we could say could set the modifier here, well, or an if statement here, like, so we could say if voucher if voucher serving, then we do this. Well, actually, let's set this as a modifier for readable, like this. That's gonna end up with a huge ass. But I think I can. Can I do this? I think I can do this. No, I can't do this. Oh, format. No, he wants this. But what if I add this and I just copy what Rubocop or whatever I'm using? This will actually just not this, but oh god, no, that's shit here. I'm actually servings and cache, right? Right, I probably want. Right. Okay, and it says sec 200. Right. Not that super nice. So perhaps we want this size, I don't know, 10. Jay, the developer, thank you very much for the follow. Sorry I haven't set up the commands yet. New at Twitch, sorry about that. But I can talk you through what I'm doing. I am working on a small project that will help restaurants to digitalize their flow with issuing gift cards and lunch cards. So as a restaurateur, perhaps you want to build a little bit of loyalty and have people come back to you, so you can issue cards with prepaid amount of servings or prepaid value, you know, that people can use when they eat. So my job today is to allow to, well, what I did is I have some functionality that allows users or restaurateurs to issue different type of vouchers, and I want them to be actually created as PDF so they can be distributed to the user in one way or another. And I have a QR code and all of that stuff. You know, so each card has a 5-digit or digits and letters code. But now I'm just playing around with some visual stuff, and I'm not a designer, so. But I am using a pretty interesting library that is called Prawn, that allows me to programmatically create PDF files, and I'm quite happy with the gem. But I think, you know, as complexity kind of grew, like we have different variants, different designs, different languages, then this module grew a little bit out of proportion. So it's definitely up for refactoring at some point. But at the moment, I'm just trying to get things under control. And I'll be around for another 20 minutes, guys. So let's see how much work we can get done in that time. Let's make this 8. And just take a look what it looks like. Then, you know, writing automated tests for things that are visual is kind of hard. Like this spacing between these two should be probably bigger, different. So what if we actually, what if we just allow our formatter to do whatever he wants to do, the modifiers, and then I'm gonna get this into that one, and I'm gonna copy this. This can be size 30, and then I will copy this guy. It feels a little bit like code repetition, so need to be careful with this stuff. But I'm gonna lower this to 28, perhaps. Right, and run it again. And I say again and again and again, thank God for automated tests, because you know, in a process like this, when you design, you have to regenerate those PDFs many times to get the look and feel that you're looking for, and without having a script to do it for you, this would be very cumbersome. I think this kind of works, kind of. Not sure if this is centered properly. Not that bad. And this, yeah, there are other problems here, but I think for now this could actually. Thank you, J Head Developer. J the Developer. Sorry, J the Developer. Right. Oh. See. And we need to make these tests pass. Why? So it says sec first and 200, right? So we just gonna this, and then I'm just gonna say ending sec 100, and so 88 pass. So have to deal. Yes. Right. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. The first design again was 56. So let's run on 6 and going green again, Mike. We're going green. Back in green state, the way we love it. Okay. So this is another design of this thing. And let's see if we can just visually take a look at this one using the Swedish version. Right, so we're missing some translation. See? Good. Good. That's fixable, of course. That's of course fixable. Let's just go into the English translation. Gonna copy this, go to Swedish, and then we just paste this, and then we say that's Swedish, och here we say cent. And then we just add in should. Hello, Anya. Hello, Anya. Nice to have you lurking around. We're doing a little bit of test-driven development in Ruby on Rails. Oh, tomorrow morning, if you by any chance are up and about early on, I will do Cypress on this project, because I'm at the back end at the moment, but I will be moving to the front end tomorrow morning. And I have some technical debt because I just get carried away and coded a little too much. So I need to follow up with or catch up with testing. So what happens sometimes when you work on solo project? I think Mike can sign under that statement. But we have a Swedish version of this guy. I'm actually going to create a context for that. Let me just change this to this. Let's down to right. So we're gonna basically now this will with a valid voucher, right? Of variant serving. So we have another thing. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna say context, and we're gonna say English version of variant servings. Right, that's gonna be the best. So English version. Then I can just collapse all of these, and I can move them in this block, and I can run this, the whole thing now. That should in principle work, because then I can copy the whole thing and I can just say of Swedish version. Right, now I can pretty much copy this baby and just say Swedish version, and then I can just change this. Oh no. Oh no, he's choosing all of them. Oh no. Let's just do this. Let's just change this to Swedish, and then go this to Swedish, and we change this to Swedish, and this one. And then that's it. Right, so now we can check this on 901. Right, 901, and all of them will fail for me now because I need to update the strings. Swedish version. Right. Okay, that's cool. That's okay. So let's go to 116. Oh, this one will say lunch fish, and the bada. Is that what we're saying? And this is chord. Right. So let's run 160. Hold on a second, boys and girls. I need to attend a matter that involves my wife again. That's but the test was passing, so that's good. Let's. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, back at it. So let's run the one on 137, or check out the one on 137. Forward, add, and then we can go down here, the sent forward. Oh, sorry, that was lowercase. And they've had that's okay. And then here, split that, present what sect for. Right, so let's can run 101. Okay on this. Or failing 161. Yes, of and the one on 181. And details, people. Always pay attention to details. That's what I need. And Mike, if you're still around, like tomorrow morning, if you'd like, I can set up, just as we discussed in our latest meeting, I can set up a Google Meet, and you can join me in the meet, and we can, you can be with me on audio, right? So that would be an interesting experiment. And when I stream from home, so at my office I have two computers, one PC and my Mac. But when I stream from home, I think that if I have a Meet open, that could put a lot of pressure on the performance of my computer, so that might not work out, but we can at least run an experiment. Another thing that we could do, if you're interested, is to set up a live share session in VS Code, and there's also the audio extension, so I can have you both be able to interact with me while coding, but also talking to me. We can try both of these settings, having a meet on the side, but also a live session. And again, performance-wise, that could be a bit stressful for the computer, but we'll see. Figure it out. Because that would be an interesting thing, because then we could give that option to our Agile Ventures members, and see if they want to interact, or just passively watch the stream, or just interact with us chat. So I think that could. And for those do not know what Agile Ventures is, this the community, and Mike is a community organizer at Agile Ventures, and I will just pull out the link here again, and if there's any questions about what we do, a lot of info can be found, of course, on the website, but Mike is planned to ask a lot about. I'm a long-time member of AV, so I've been around for a few years. But I think Mike is actually the guy to ask about what's going on in that community. Anyway, we are good to go. We're good to go. I'm going to run the entire suit. That will take a minute or two. But whoops, I can do that in my terminal. RSpec. see if this is actually doing what it's supposed to. I'm pretty happy with the custom code generator, and you know, when you start to write your tests, you just want to get some very basic stuff up and running, and then after a while, your tests are growing a little bit out of proportion. There are some red stuff going on, and you know, you shouldn't be scared to have too many describe or it blocks, and you know, as Mike suggested, context, which is so a good way to group your tests and so on. And you know, you work on something for a while, and all of a sudden you find yourself with you know, hundreds of tests, and it will take some time to run through all of them, which is something you don't necessarily have to continue with. You can just run the tests that you are currently working on, and nothing else. So that is my opinion. Thing. We are running into some issues. I must have done something really stupid. I see some failing tests here. Image URL. This shouldn't be failing. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Why is this failing? Oh my God. Not misuse the name of the Lord, Thomas. Not misuse the name of the Lord. But please, Lord, have mercy on my soul. What? Oh. Oh. I know what it is. My Rails is changing language. I can fix this in one single setting. You see, for some reason, I don't know why this happened now, but perhaps it's well, I know why this happened. I know why. I think I can fix that very simply. There are actually two things that comes to mind. What happens is that Rails changes language to Swedish, and then it doesn't change back. I did something. Well, what I did is this. There's a very simple fix to it. Very simple. But it's a fix that I am not really happy with, and that is pretty much this. If I just change the no, what am I doing? Right, if I just change the order of these tests, I can X this and place this above. I think that would actually work. Or I could do an after block my Rails helper. Right, I could do like after E. RSpec after, yeah, after hook RSpec, right. Or E, and well, I can just do after all. Well, anyway, after all. Right. That's this. Can I do? After E2, and then I would say I 80 Ali equals, let's see, but now I don't know which one fixed it, so let's comment this first. I'm gonna have to run the entire thing and see if this starts to fail. Then I will just abort it. Actually, I think that the order in the generator will actually fix that. But I think it's also prudent to set this after each thing. But it could actually slow down the test. See, I have a lot of endpoints here because this is also an administrative system that tracks people timesheets when they come to work and they leave, and they can do process orders and some other stuff here. It's not only about vouchers. And the story is that I started to write this program to fix our own problems. So I have this restaurant in Gothenburg called Bocado. It's a small tapas place. And so I was like, oh, I want to build an ordering app and a backend system, and because I'm a programmer, so I started to build that, and then out of that grew the idea to extract some functionality that deals with those vouchers. So at some point I will probably extract all of that to a specific API that specific, well, that particular problem and nothing else. You see, so I fixed it by moving the order of the tests around, but now I will just move this back again after, like I had before when it was failing, and then I will just state that Rails helper thingy and see if that actually works. So I'm gonna run this one last time. I know it's boring to see tests being run like this, but to make it a little more interesting, I can this we'll see the cards switch layout. What? Hitting me? Really? Really? Wow. Don't know what the fuck what I'm doing. So let's just forget about it. Just forget. I fixed my problem. I don't want to deal. I'm just gonna run my tests and rejoice that it works, and I can see those cards, all designs be generated, and I'm really happy with that. Although I would probably need to have some designer help me designs of these cards because they're not that super fancy at this stage, and we're still failing. No, come on, give me a break. Oh yeah, because okay. Thomas, get a grip on. Get a grip on. X this, put this on top, publish last. That's the way you want. Stop messing around, please. So sometimes I just go like, oh, this is fast, I'm done, and one would think that goes smoothly, but then you just F up. Get problems. Pay the price for sloppiness. Get copy on code. Very careful. But anyway, it's kind of fun, you know, see those cards being generated. That's nice. And once this is done, I'm gonna make a commit and I'm gonna slowly wind the things down. I'm off to see my grown-up son, Elliot, that he moved into a new apartment. I'm gonna buy some bread, some charcuteries, no, some sausages and some good stuff that I know that he likes. I'm gonna pick up his older brother and I'm gonna take his younger brother with me. I'm gonna go over to his place for the first time and have some brunch, breakfast, lunch combined, and spend some time with him. And just because this is running, if you ever are curious about some fantastic I think we have, this is the restaurant that we are running. Serve fantastic at Bocado. So check it out. And our Instagram users, feel free to press the like button. We do some good food. And this is my son. That's awesome. And he's preparing food at the restaurant. Check it out. It's a small joint, but we love to. That's a little bit of a passion for us. And as you can, we're developing like a mobile application for Bocado. Place orders. This React Native, tested with Detox, which is another testing framework for you to dive into at some point. Go on. Right, let's see. Got 350 examples, 0 failures. That's great. Let's do it status. Right, did I even change my mind about it? Right. Fine here. Right. Alice, right. It's CI fixes or adds specs for LAN locally voucher. Right. That's pretty much it. That's what it. Up to voucher variants. And again, this is a little bit of a solo project that I'm just turning into a real one. Oh, thanks, Mike. You know, whenever you visit Sweden, and I hope you can do that at some point, I'd love to have you as a guest at Bocado. We're actually organizing some meetups in conjunction to Bocado, and then we buy people food at the restaurant. That's pretty nice. There are a few outstanding issues with this pull request so far, but yeah, definitely, Mike. But I will get back to this at some point. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but the next step is definitely to not have to hard code the currency, rather add these as part of the voucher. Tomorrow morning I will try to move away from the API side and dive into the front end. I might or might not be online again later tonight when I'm back home. So if you guys are around by then, you can join me. I will probably set up a stream. But thank you very much for all the follows. Jay, the developer, Greedy123, C Fantast, and also iHal555. That's really nice of you. Mike, thank you very much for hanging out today. Anya, good luck with your studies. Join me tomorrow. We're going to do some Cypress, but you know, if you need sleep, that's perfectly fine. Thank you very much, guys. Stay cool, stay safe, wash your hands, and all of that. Godspeed, and I will be praying for success. Happy coding. All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you.